you're tough not missing.
You don't, they said 6 months, they gave him 6 months. Let's see the chemo.
Diane,
Yeah,
Until like 2 days.
that's me.
my only concern is having to
Okay.
Right, are you sure that Dan can get his live? Yes.
Hi, Dan. Dan Campion, are you there?
Can we see him or?
All right. All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it
to their
Stands
stand,
one nation,
one nation.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I did hear you two fellas back there. Roll call. Okay, Dan Campion.
Present.
All right, Bill Hopkins.
Here.
Mike Kulat.
Present.
Dennis Faber.
Present.
Ted Kamek.
Here.
Ron Gant.
Here.
Right. This was all posted on Friday afternoon or Friday morning, actually.
It was actually Friday afternoon and ended up being before 3 o'clock.
Okay. Any change in the sequence? All right, with that, we're going to suspend citizens' comments and move on to presentations, petitions, communications, other agency reports. Discussion and possible action on the purchase of a new server for Super Micro in the amount of $6,985.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Hopkins made a motion and it was seconded by Kulat. Any questions on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on an event agreement with Music on the Move Plus in the amount, Music on the Move Plus in the amount of $5,430. This is for Summer Beats and Pumpkin Days.
Is there any repercussion as far as not going on? I mean, so we want to approve this, right?
Is there an out clause?
If it doesn't go on, I mean, is it?
Whatever reason, we're still shut down for this.
I'm sure there is,
Look for anything.
but I
I'm
don't.
sure that, and Shannon's talked to him, I'm sure that, that he would work with us. It wouldn't be a refund, but just as the last time we had an issue with bad weather, he worked with us for the next event.
That's my understanding, and I can make sure that is the case before any check is cut.
Yeah, I'd want,
Okay, so we could tentatively approve it, and if it isn't, then we could bring it back.
Sure.
okay, yeah.
Does this have to be approved tonight in order to be good, or can we put it off till next week?
Yes, because obviously his dates are filling up, so we will
Okay.
be able to lock in those dates.
And it'd just be as easy to,
Well, I'd make a motion to approve it, subject to some sort of cancellation agreement for circumstances beyond our control.
all right, a motion was made by trustee Kulat
Second it.
and seconded by Kamek. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 No opposition, it carries. Utility District, number 1, discussion and possible action regarding resolution 2020.05-22, a resolution temporarily suspending the imposition of late fees in response to the COVID-19 virus outbreak.
Motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
All right, Dennis, Kulat beat you, so would you like to make a second?
I would.
All right, so
I'd like him to.
well, he beat you, so never mind. So Kulat made the motion and Faber seconded. Does everyone understand what this is?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Whoops, I'm pulling on the cords here. Number 2, discussion and possible action on payment request number 12 by CD Smith Construction in the amount of $639,952.09 for the wastewater treatment plant regionalization improvements.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Hopkins and then Kulat. Questions on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public Works, number 1, discussion and possible action, excuse me, on awarding the 2020 sanitary sewer and street rehabilitation projects to Payne and Dolan in the amount of $1,451,918.
What, can I have a question? What does it pertain to?
Which agenda item were you on?
We're on Public Works, number 1, the $1 million
Street project.
for the street and sanitary sewer.
Mostly Arboretum Woods,
I'll get ready to
but
say
there
it.
are various other locations where we have smaller sewer rehabs and some paving of Silver Lake also.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion was made by trustee Kulat. Is
I'll
there,
second it.
and seconded by Mr. Gant.
Now you had on there also, there was some various other, I guess it was alternate B.
Yes.
Is that just little touch-ups here and there? Is that what that is?
That's just the way we bid it, and we did get favorable bid amounts. In case the bids came in high, we've had the option of not doing
Okay.
the alternates.
If we include it in the base bid, then we almost have to use the whole base bid. Not knowing what the total price would be, we always try to list a couple of alternates in case it comes in favorable, which it did.
Yeah.
So then we can just do alternates A and B.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that North Second Street, because I know you tried patching it earlier this winter and it's just,
Pretty rough.
it's, yeah, it's,
Mike, I got a
Obviously, the board's aware, one thing that we do when we do any street paving, Arboretum was a prime example. It's got a lot of curb. It's one of the first subdivisions in Salem Lakes that had curb and gutter. So there's a lot of curb repair that has to be made. Brad had all the cambered, or the sanitary sewers cambered. There's quite a few leaks that have to be repaired. We do all that previous to the actual paving. So when we're done with that subdivision or that area, we should be good until the next time. So that's, we appreciate your support. So we can not pave and in 2 years from now, do a sanitary and then do it all at one time.
Do it the way you're doing it. Quick question, and I should ask this earlier today. Are we seeing a lessening of prices from last year because of oil costs? Is it any cheaper? Or is it?
We are not. Everything, obviously the bid that came in this time, we compared it to several other bids throughout the state. Obviously Payne and Dolan's are local, biggest in the area that can handle, something of this nature. We thought we might get one more, but we didn't. But the cost of, I talked to actually Lynn Record from R.A. Smith, with oil prices being low, we're getting, he said, well, most of the cost is in manpower in doing these construction projects. So they're a little cheaper, but not by a lot.
I guess where I was going was that it would be to our benefit to do more right now, but the numbers just don't.
Yeah, the manpower costs are still where they are.
Okay.
The actual asphalt is probably one of the lowest costs of the whole project. So.
Makes sense. I think so, Mike.
Any other questions? With that, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Building Department, discussion and possible action regarding the refund of permit fees from Badger Basement Systems in the amount of $130.
make a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Okay, Dennis, okay, Hopkins in favor on that one. He beat you again, Dennis, but any questions?
Well, Diane, that's because I'm on that profanity delay on the.
For a good reason, Dennis.
Thanks.
All right.
We're gonna do that all the
Little
time.
humor, we could use it. All right. With that, we have Hopkins in favor. Is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Clerk's office, number 1, discussion and possible action on the approval of applications filed for the clerk of operator licenses for Janelle Nitsky, Cassandra Walker, Siddhar Patel, Sheila Wickeling, and Amber Seltzer.
Make a motion to approve.
Second it.
Hopkins, and he beat you by a hair. Kulat. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, discussion and possible action on reduction of liquor licensing and or payment options. You wanted to share something?
Well, if you guys have questions, I do have, I know Bill and I talked earlier today, but I scanned you guys just the worksheet that we use, just so you know the prices. Just for clarification, the first row of $100 is for beer. The A is for away, that's the stores and gas stations. The B is like the bars and restaurants. And the second for $500 is the liquor license. I know operator's license is on there. We prorate that anyways. We take off $2.50 a month. So I don't think that is an issue. But I do have some correspondence from other clerks too. There are some municipalities that are reducing the fees. There are some that are saying absolutely not. So I think it kind of goes both ways. As far as the people who are reducing, what they are doing is they're prorating the liquor license fees.
How is that?
Because, so like what I did is I did some of the math too. So you have, whether it's bar or store, $100 a year for the beer. license.
Oh, okay, because they're not open, duh.
It's $8.30.
No, they are open though, but they are open.
They are, yeah, the stores are, the A's. So some municipalities chose to reduce the A's and some did not, but reduce the B's because they're the ones who can't be open. But it is $8.33 a month for the fees that are $100 a year. So some people are only charging them 9 months. The liquor, that's the big one. That's the $500 a year. If you prorate it per month and charge them 9 months, it'll be about $375 for the fee instead of the $500.
And you said that we can't suspend it.
No, you cannot. We can't postpone that's a state rule.
So they have to pay, but it depends on what is up to us, what they pay.
And here, just to give you a little bit of background too, the rules with the state are, there are no minimums for the stores for beer or maximum. So it was up to you guys to make that fee. The stores, for the liquor, it's a $500 maximum, $50 minimum. So if you're reducing anything, you can't go lower than 50 if you choose not to prorate it. The same with the liquor stores, or the liquor license for the stores and the bars, same thing. 500 maximum, $50 minimum.
Okay.
So you have to stay within, in between there.
So I know there's a concern about lost revenue, all right? And given that we're looking at 2.5 months, so if we rounded off the 3 months, that's 25%. When I look at, if we were to prorate, and when I look at what we had for revenue last year of 28,420, we're looking at a loss of revenue of only $7,000 to the village if we were to prorate 25%. To me, I think that's worth it as far as our small business associations, but that's my opinion.
I concur, Bill. I think, I've been thinking long and hard about this, what we could do locally, and unfortunately, we don't have huge coffers to tap into. We can't, there's not a lot of things we can do. But if we can give them some relief, a little bit of relief, I go along with it. I think 25% of the fee is good. And I think I would also figure out what the balance would be. We're going to pay it over the next 3 or 4, or maybe even 6 months, but stretch it out so they get back on the feet and they're going again. So not get all at once.
Are you finding, have you heard anything, Rich? About
I have
anything?
not heard anything
Yeah.
either way on, I know there's some discussion,
Sure.
but none of the municipalities that I work with have prorated or reduced license fees.
Okay,
You can do it, as Shannon outlined.
okay. Shannon?
Just a thought is the fee that you brought up, trustee Hopkins, of the 7,000 for the 25%, that's just for the liquor license. Like if you guys are going to be, I mean, are you going to take into consideration the cabaret, the amusement, I don't think we can reduce tobacco because it's only $50, right?
Yeah. if it's
I mean, are you gonna just do the liquor license reduction, reduce fees, or are you gonna do all the other licenses that usually go along with the bars?
I mean, I don't know, the big one, I think the big ones are the most important. I think everybody can wing the $50, even though, but is this? Okay, this is,
I think the biggest thing is a liquor license, okay? So you got $500 a year, that's, but we have to put something down to hold their license, is what I'm gonna say. Okay, so if you put $100 down, and so they're gonna be offered, so they're already shut down for 2 months, okay? So 500 divided by 12, it's 42 bucks a month.
Yep.
Okay? So if we were to credit that 42 bucks or 84 in this case, for two months they've been shut down. So then $100 down and the whole rest of the license has to be paid by the 1st of January. It's giving them the benefit to get rolling, but here again, we don't know if they're gonna open in another month or not, so.
I mean, it's not a detriment, is it, to the village?
25%, is that what are you looking at as a detriment, I guess is my question.
Well, any of the.
I mean, it is in the budget per se.
That's what I'm referring
I
to.
mean, it's not gonna break the village, I don't think.
Well, that's what, Mike,
No, I was just gonna say, Ron, thank you. I think just on the liquor licenses, on the monies, trustee Hopkins brought up the dollar amount, just on that, I wouldn't do it for the cabaret licenses and the amusement license and all that other stuff. I mean, those are things to me, those are extras. And I think some of the bars that have machines make pretty good money on them, so that's up to them. But I'm all for, what I would say, Ron, is, yeah, $100 the day they, get the license, and then let them pay it over the next 6 months, let's say, up till the end of December.
So a mixture of the 25% and then pay over a period of
Right,
time.
so the village isn't out all the money, but I am in favor of doing something like that, even a little bit helps. But I don't know how many of these businesses are getting help from the feds either, so.
We don't know what their government, their small business loans and that are. I mean,
doesn't last long, trust me.
everybody's got their hand out today.
Right, and we hear those that aren't getting it, we hear those that do get it. How do you check that? Do you ask them? I mean, I think that wouldn't be right too.
I think that'd be way too cumbersome for us to try and.
Right, we're just trying to help the local businesses. There's very little through this pandemic we've been able to do at this level. So I mean, it's not a lot, but it's just a little something that we do have control over and we can do.
Yep.
So I don't want to, get it too complicated, put too much on it, too many ifs, what ifs.
Yeah.
Let's just help people with the little bit that we can.
I'd be in favor of reducing.
Yes.
And Ron, I like your idea of the per month, but like you said, we don't know how long it's going to go. And right now it's at 2.5 months. So if we just round it high to 3 months, it's 25%.
Okay, that's fine.
I'd be good with that.
We have to, the biggest thing is to put something down to hold a license to begin with.
Madam President,
Yes,
I've given this some thought and I want to share this with the board. First of all, businesses that have packaged liquor, either beer or liquor, they're able to be open for the most part. And they're able to still serve their customers. So what we're really talking about is the businesses that were shut down from serving alcohol, such as the bars. So I like a couple of the ideas and mix them together that Ron's brought up and Bill has brought up, and that is, one, they should apply for their license because really their current license expires in another month or so. But I also think they should put down, if you want to call it a down payment of $100 or whatever the fee's going to be. I think $100 is pretty good. But then they must pay it by the end of the year, excuse me, so that they're current. But then the question is how much would they pay? And I think it should be prorated based upon how many months that the state has ordered them to be closed. Because they can't make a business with it. And some of them are, while they're trying to do carryouts, but that's only food. And let's face it, bars make money on alcohol, not on food. So I think we should look at it that way. While it's not going to be a lot against our budget, it is something, and it shows that we're trying to work with these companies because each and every year we seem to lose some of those businesses. Since I've been on the board, I can count on one hand, probably about 5 or 6 businesses that are gone now that used to sell liquor in our town and village. So I think we need to show some good faith with those people. Are they getting compensated by the federal government? That's something the federal government has got to worry about. That's nothing that we should be involved with.
Concur.
And in talking with Rick just now, he said that we could do something like that, the $100 down and so much, prorated by the end of the year. We could make that happen at our.
Everybody's comfortable with the $100 down?
Yes.
And that's why we wanted to bring it to you, because we know their licenses are expiring
June 30th.
June 30th. So we wanted to get something before the board. Shannon, myself, Brad, Chris, we're all kind of working amongst ourselves, bring back some other ways that maybe we can save some of our people some money to try to help them out, because this one was one we needed to get before you because of the expiration of those liquor licenses.
So what's the average figure per, let's say, bar that serves food and alcohol, both A and B?
You're asking what the average invoice for a bar is? So a bar that has the cabaret, that has everything, like the extras, be 6. I would say between $900 and $1,200 is for all of their license.
And so with this, you're requiring them $100, and then what about the extras then? What are we doing with them? They have to pay that?
Still pay the extras.
On time or on a payment plan?
Right.
I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't be adverse to a payment plan for the whole thing, because we're gonna get our money anyway. But to put them all on a level playing field, if I don't need a cabaret license and I don't have machines, I only need, but I don't think we should give them the whole enchilada. I don't think we should give them everything at once. Take the $500 fee that they all pay, make it even for all of them, make the same thing. They want extras, cabaret license or whatever, machines, whatever, that's extra, they still have to pay that.
That is their prerogative, though, to have a jukebox and a pool table and the whole shot. Some of them don't even have that, so.
I don't have a problem with, we were looking at, 6 months to whatever they owe, $100 down and pay the rest over the next 6 months.
For everything, their whole invoice.
Whatever the bill is.
I'm in favor of that, but I was still going lower for the first month, but, because I've only talked, well, you all got some emails this week, and I've been talking to them via phone. And, they're hurting, they're really hurting, and.
Are we also comfortable with the 25% prorate? In addition to the.
Diane, I'm comfortable with the 25%, but there is a couple other thoughts here. To renew their license, they have to be current with their taxes. And I think that should be considered. If they're not current with taxes, then they don't have their license renewed until their taxes are paid. And the other thing is that the information that I got from the Tavern League, there's apparently a new state law, maybe Rich can fill us in on this, that went into effect that these types of businesses only have 15 days to pay their liquor bill. And if they don't, then they are in the rears, and that jeopardizes their licenses. I don't know if it affects in our particular case, but I did read that some municipalities are making some consideration for the fact that some of these taverns and restaurants are falling behind and making that 15-day payment for their alcohol.
Shannon?
I just passed on to Rich that came down from the state, and there is a 15 and a 30-day rule. It's 15 days with the wholesalers for beers, it's $30 for liquor. Like, I just talked to one of our business owners today, because he answered a question on he is, but from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, that they're taking the COVID time from the middle of March to the middle of June and kind of holding that 15-day, 30 days, that they have till a little after that to pay that. They're not holding them to that. pay in debt to their wholesalers,
In
right?
effect, the rule that they put in place says the time that the emergency order is in effect doesn't count. Okay, so if you've got a bill to pay your supplier, during that emergency period, that doesn't count for your 15 or your 30 days. When the emergency order is lifted, then the clock starts running. You have 15 or 30 days from there.
That's
Madam President,
Yes,
that's all at the state level. And I
Right.
don't think we should mix it into anything here at the local level. Because number one, if they're not paying their bill, they're not selling anyhow. So they're not consuming. Therefore, they're only paying for what they have as inventory and stock, and then they should have already had that covered when they purchased that amount. So I don't think that we should be involved in that discussion. That should be done solely at the state level, just like any other payment of taxes and liquor license, liquor fees to distributors. So I think that by going with the 25% reduction, $100 down payment, if you want to call it that, and that they must pay their license up by the end of the year should be a good report from us to them and saying, we want to work with you and try to keep you open. Thank you.
okay, yeah. Janet,
And that clarified,
go ahead, Dennis.
Just
my concern was, would this interrupt something? And apparently it wouldn't. We can give the 25% reduction, give them, let them pay the $100 and the remainder by the end of the year. And the rest of this is not our concern. And that sounds good to me.
Yeah,
although I do agree with that. Correct me if I'm wrong again, Rich, but it's my understanding that we don't have to take the 15 and 30 day and what they owe their wholesale into consideration as far as the reduction of fees and what they owe us. But this is part of their approval and questions that they answer on that form. And that's part of what we do. We have a whole spreadsheet that checks their property taxes. And our ordinance says they have to have all those fees, and what Dennis says. We check their property taxes, their personal property taxes, their sewer bill, and we make sure that their health inspection is up to date with the county. So those 4 things we check before you guys even see the applications. And we don't even, they will not get that issued license unless those things are taken care of. So that is one of the things on the invoice, the liquor license invoice. If they didn't pay one or all of those things, that was in their invoice. They were not getting it unless they paid the village or show the receipt that they paid the county. And it was my understanding that on that form that they're answering, and we are checking their FEIN number with the state as well to make sure it's current. Because there have been, horror stories that people weren't. So
okay,
we do check all of that. And I think you
Okay.
be mindful of that.
Mike, and then we're gonna move on.
All right, just to be clear, we're gonna take the $500 fee, take 25% off, that brings it to $375. $100 down makes it $275, payable over the next, and I would say prorated per month over the next 6 months. I don't want to get to December and have somebody not have paid anything, oh, you know what, I don't have the money, I'm out of business or something. I think we should, I'm all for working with them, but at least give them some kind of standard to meet.
All right,
Can we hold that? Like, can you revoke a license if they don't pay by the due date? Or can you?
I imagine so.
Yeah, if you establish that you can pay the license fee in installments, and you set the deadlines for those installments, and an installment is not paid, that is the basis for revoking the license. You have to go through the revocation process, but you could establish, I think, relatively easily whether they paid it on time.
Madam President?
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion then that we reduce the liquor license by 25% for a fee of $375. And per the other trustees, we would take a $100 down payment, bringing it down to $275, and the $275 to be paid out in 3 installments within 6 months.
3 or 6.
With the, to expire on December 31st, they have to have everything paid.
That would spread over 6 months.
Set it over 6 months, yeah.
So it'd be 6 installments over 6 months.
Either that or 3 installments over 6 months.
I like 6.
I like
It's
6.
All right,
little bites.
so
Right.
6 installments.
Paper nightmare for Shannon and them.
I'll second it.
Okay, what about, and then do we want to add something about their other charges or no?
No.
No, okay,
No.
just for that. Okay, so we got the motion was made. Does everybody understand that one? By Hopkins, second by Kulat? Mr.
Yep.
Schulze, Mr. Schulze has a comment.
And just as a clarification, I understand that you want this to be in place for the license year 2020 to 2021 only. That doesn't continue after that unless you take other action. Is that what you want to do?
Yes,
That is correct.
can we add that to the motion?
Yes,
Mr. Hopkins?
Yep.
Expired December 31st.
But this is just for this, but okay. And so seconded by Kulat. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Number 3, appointment of members to the Planning Commission we need 2 for 3-year appointments, and we need 2 for 2-year appointments, and 2 for 1 year. And it was recommended by Brad that Eric Erickson and Bruce No Pens would be the 3-year appointments. Alan Sumner and Joe Wade for the 2-year terms. John Foch and Joanne Maggio for 1-year terms. And then 2 alternates. So actually, the way you listed them, Shannon, was perfect. What is the board's pleasure?
Oh, wait a minute. I thought there was another person that,
There's 7 commissioners. Kim Brunings does not expire. She was appointed last year.
Oh,
So 2022, that leaves 6 positions. We're appointing these 6. I was not aware of the other 2 that are on the agenda, that I would recommend we appoint those as alternates.
right.
1-year period.
That's,
okay,
that would be my recommendation, I get also.
okay.
Can you say that one more time?
Okay, so Eric Erickson and Bruce No Pens for 3 years.
Okay.
Alan Summer and Joe Wade for 2-year terms. John Foch and Joanne Maggio for the 1-year appointments. And Roger Johnson and Jeff Albrecht would be alternate 1-year appointments. If somebody can't make it.
I'd make a motion to approve the appointments as stated by the village president.
I'll second it.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Number 4, appointment of members to the Board of Appeals, and thanks for listing them. That was a lot easier, Brad. Board of Appeals, we need 2 3-year appointments. So we have Vicky, Bruce, and John, and then 1 2-year appointment. So is this as a recommendation also, or is it just random?
Recommendation was Vicky and Bruce for 3-year terms and John for a 2-year.
All right, is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Mr. Kulat made a motion to approve as presented,
I'll second.
and Hopkins second. Any questions?
Yeah. Excuse me. Dennis brought up earlier, and it's unfortunate we don't have more people want to get involved, but I'm not, and there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not 100% comfortable with somebody being on both commissions. To me, it could have some sort of a conflict at some point, but there's nothing we can do about it. We don't have any other nominees, so we have to go with what we've got.
I have a question. Did we have any more applicants than the 3 that have applied?
No,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so we do have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor? Should I poll or? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
And
opposed?
thanks for bringing that up, Mike.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, sure, way to go, Dennis. Anyway, all in favor, we got yes, and is there any opposition? No? All right, motion carries. Number 5, appointment of members for the Board of Review. For 2 3-year appointments, we got Jeff and Shirley. There will be a vacant seat and a vacant alternate seat remaining, but right now we have nobody that has applied. So let's make a motion at least for these
And
2.
the same question is gonna come up as far as what we just went through with the last one where Albright is on the planning commission and where now he's gonna be on the board of review, so.
But we're not getting anybody to, I make a motion.
Yeah, but the board of review has to do with the real estate taxes. This is nothing, this is with your appraisal of your real estate.
Correct. So we do have Jeff and Shirley on there. Are any other comments? Make a motion, anybody? And Hopkins did, I'm sorry. Hopkins made a motion to approve Jeff Albrecht and Shirley Benning,
Second.
and Kulat seconded. Is there questions now? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Number 6, Fire Commission, 5-year appointment, Jerry Ring.
Motion approved.
Made by Kulat to approve Jerry Ring for the Fire Commission. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And Ted Kamek, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 7, appointment of members to the library board. We need 2 of them for 3-year appointments. Bill Hopkins and Kathy Shitsky.
Motion approved.
Kulat made a motion to
I'll
approve,
second.
and Faber seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
1 abstention from Bill, obvious reasons. All right. Number
Oh,
eight-
excuse me, Madam President, I voted yes for position 5 and position 6. I accidentally had the mute button on. You may not have heard me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. I didn't hear you. I'm glad because I was wondering where you went.
What you meant.
Yeah, I hit the mute button by accident, sorry.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. I was wondering, I said, well, I just heard them now, but I don't know what happened on the last ones. Okay. All right, Shannon's got that. Did I call for the motion on that one? I forget.
Yes.
Yes, okay, so 8, Park Commission for 2 3-year appointments for Shelley Erickson and Katie Volbrick.
Motion approved.
Second.
Kulat and Hopkins. Motion, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Madam President,
Yeah.
can I just add a comment in here? We're done with all these committees. Is there something that we can look into that might generate more interest from residents? I mean, is it, we're not paying enough per meeting?
I don't think it's that, honestly. I really don't. I just don't think,
It's been that way,
from day one.
Diane. It's been that way for my 16, 17 years.
28, yep. Oh, I shouldn't brag about
Just
that.
seems like it's getting worse. and not better.
Shannon? I'm sorry.
Those, I don't know if you guys seen before the April election, we did this kind of cute little video explaining a YouTube video with me, and I felt really weird doing it, but Steve Brown is interested in doing another video just to talk about clerk stuff. I was gonna actually talk about with you first, but he wants to do this other video, just saying like what the village is doing, what's new, what's going on. Do you want me to talk about commission stuff and interest and a little?
Sure, we always can.
I think anything we can do to try and stimulate others in the community to take a more active interest is worthwhile.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know,
I mean,
for advertising.
And I'm going to be, by the way,
And Madam President,
yes.
I think we should also use the local media. I mean, west of the eye would be a good place for us to do some type of an advertising for commissions when they come due, to let people know that it's happening, because in the past, we have appointed people on the commissions or boards, and then afterwards we get people involved, and now they have to wait a year plus in order to be on a commission. So if we can do something to advertise it, especially on west of the eye, which is very local and it's supporting a local business. So I think we should do that.
Well, now that we have appointed, as Bill said, is it probably not a good thing to bring that up and not be able to use it?
No, but going forward.
Going forward.
Yeah.
And Mike?
Right.
I just wanted to say, not only with these commissions, but excuse me, with us sitting here in the last 2 elections, we've all run unopposed, which either tells me nobody cares or we're doing such a great job, nobody thinks we can do any better.
I don't want to answer that.
People just don't want to get involved. People do not want to. Now, after when this pandemic stuff is over, we'll see where things go, but right, up to then, people have their lives are busy, it's not worth it to them. It's not worth getting
Yeah.
involved. And I don't know the answer to what to do to get people involved. But I think, Shannon, you're right, but I wouldn't rush to it because we got a year, but at least start putting some thoughts
I mean,
together.
yeah, and we can make a better one for next year, but we do, and now I'm thinking, I think there might be somebody verbally told me they were interested in the park. That's always, you get that too, but they never want to put it in writing and actually do it, so, but I mean, maybe I can just mention, I know you guys are talking about the library board, you can let me know on that, but the few vacant seats I could at least mention to try to get somebody to fill them.
But didn't we vote to keep the park?
The same number.
It's at 7, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's ample. But yeah, for the future, definitely. But Bill, I'm just going to tell you, we've struggled with this all along. Just saying. I don't know. And we pay what, 50 or something like that? I don't even know what we pay anymore. 55.
Is that across the board for all?
Per diem for all of them.
Okay.
And when we started out, we were free, and then we did it. We just did it. But now, and I don't think it's the money. I really don't. But my opinion.
And you find out, you find out you get what you pay for. Huh?
Okay, Dennis.
People was free, Diane.
Oh, just be good over there now. Come on. All right.
But generally, you get a lot of interest when there's controversy, and we seem to have going through a phase now where the people that were making all this controversy are no longer around.
Did I already call for a motion? I did. Okay, so we're set on that one. I cannot pull up the vultures. It says it will not reload. So I'm going to say,
You want the paper?
let's see, it says this page isn't working.
Sure.
I can just say as is, as presented.
What do you want?
I'll just say as presented for tonight. I'm going to do that. Number 9, the approval of vouchers for April 14th through May 11th as reviewed and presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I'll move to approve.
All right, I'm going to get you in there. Kulat in favor, let's do it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, anybody for request on future items? What about next week, Monday? Do we need to?
Is there anything pressing?
No.
The only thing we were gonna discuss next week was some of those options for, some other items maybe we could offer. But it would take some work on our end, so we can discuss it next month. I don't want to bring everyone in for one meeting. Sometime in the near future, we're gonna need to host a closed session to discuss our contract with Paddock Lake Fire Rescue Services.
Good.
That we're gonna do that in March.
Okay,
And, so I'd like to get that done. We can even probably push it till next month.
I recommend that. If we don't have to, we won't.
If the board decides that, it's something that you want to do, and talk with Chief Slover, there is a limit, I think it's 6 months we have to give notice. And obviously we don't, if the board at some point decides they want to change, then we want to make sure we give Paddock Lake plenty of time because it will affect their budget and they'll be in the budgeting process pretty quick too.
We gave notice already too, though, didn't we?
Nope. We have not.
No, didn't we just say we're going to look at it, but we didn't even.
Right, and we went with something else, but it wasn't that correct.
It's just something I'd like to discuss with the board, but not necessarily myself, but Chief Slover is much more up to speed on it to discuss.
All right.
Closed session to see how you'd like to.
Okay. Let's leave it as right now. We are not going to have a committee of the whole next Monday unless something really pressing comes up, and then we'll call not emergency. We'll call a cow,
Not to put you on the stomach, but I meant to ask you today. Fire and rescue calls, are we down, even, up? I mean, just out of curiosity,
I'm not real sure, but I get on my phone, I hear a call.
every day.
I meant to ask you today, and
I know that.
Down, it's
I
down.
might be able to let Chief Slover. Chief Slover's on.
But
Chief Slover, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
a little sneak there.
Oh, who snuck in?
There, how's that?
But I heard in the paper today, it was the opiate overdoses has increased. There was like 5 of them since May 5th. But anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, that's true, Madam President. The opioid overdoses and other overdoses have increased, but our call load, generally speaking, is down. And working at the EOC briefs that we have there twice a week, all the departments are down as far as our call load is concerned, I guess, with everybody being home. But
Right. Thank you for that. And on the news tonight too, they also talked about people are waiting, not that it matters, but I'm just throwing it in. That people are waiting too long. People are having a stroke, and they're not getting in because they're so afraid to go into the hospital. So there are many people that they're not going in when they should be going in, and they said they should start doing that, but.
With that note, my son is working in the Bronx, New York at Lincoln Hospital. And what he is now seeing is COVID-19 patients who recovered are coming back in because it's doing something with the blood where they're stroking out. And there's a significant number of them that are not walking out of that hospital afterwards.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
well, that's true. And one of the concerns we have in EMS and is that our call load is going to increase or tick up dramatically once we start to open and the weather warms up. So that might be on regular, everyday medical emergencies we run and or relationship to the COVID-19. We don't know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. With that, that's how we're going to leave. A motion to adjourn
So moved.
from Kulat
Second.
and seconded by Hopkins. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, good. Motion carries. We are now adjourned.
Recorder.
Diane,